What's up guys, Snowman here. Welcome to my March 14th Hollow Hound Survival Knife Day. So you guys can see I got a lot of my Hollow Hound survival knives on here. I had a gentleman mail me some pictures of his Hollow Hound survival knife collection and some of his survival knives. I'm going to do a little section here coming up. We're going to look at those and talk about them. So today is about paying tribute to Hollow Hound survival knives. So I just wanted you guys to know I'm totally fine with you leaving a link below in the comment section to your videos. I would love to see those. I'm sure other people would love to see your Hollow Hound survival knives. That's what this video is all about, paying tribute to Hollow Hound survival knives. So to save time, I'm not going to show you guys every one of these knives because I've got most of these are on my last year's video, but I'll show you a couple of them. We're going to talk about a couple of them, but I wanted to do that to save on time and so I can be able to get this other stuff in the unboxing and do the little review of this gentleman from France. He sent me some pictures of his Hollow Hound survival knife, so I'm going to include that on this video. He has one of these. This is a Combat Master, and they only made 1,075 of these. I've got one. The gentleman from France has one. The question is, do you have one? Totally cool. This was Blackie Collins' only entry into the survival knife craze back in the mid-80s. This has a little section here in the handle. You take your tool here on your retention strap, flathead screwdriver built in. You unscrew this bolt. This pops up. There's a little there's a little top to this section, pops off, and you've got survival items in there. I've got a little compass, there's matches, there's some fishing items in there, and I just went ahead and wrapped that with number 12 bank line. Index is really nice. This is made out of Swedish stainless steel, and that clip point fighter style Bowie blade. Blackie Collins. Very, very rare. Very, very rare. Only 1,075 of those ever made. It's unique. It's not like a normal Hollow Hound survival knife. It's just built different. You guys have seen my Model 23 Storm Hollow Hound survival knife. I just want to show it to you here real quickly. It's really nice. These have a 6 3/4 inch blade. I based the blade off of the Randall Model 18, just did everything myself by hand. This is 5160 spring steel. I hand make the guards. This is 300 series stainless steel tube and a high quality aluminum cap. And I don't have anything in there right now. Wrap the handle with number 12 bank line, just looks outstanding, really nice. And of course my Rat 7 tactical sheath, I've got all the survival items packed out in there. I've got a compass, a little Kershaw folding blade. And then, yeah, you guys, there's other videos where I'm talking about how I build these and stuff. You guys can check those out. This looks real nice in this Rat 7 double retention sheath. And I'm in the process of making this one, several more of these. I've got them started. Making a gentleman from Europe one. And I'm making a couple of the Model 24 Soldier models that I have as well. You guys, we're going to have pictures of this Marto Brewer hollow handle survival knife bayonet. I'll show you how this opens up. Instead of me opening this all up, I've got a picture of this, how it looks. The gentleman from France has a couple of these, and we're going to talk about some differences on that video section. These are really cool. This one has the bayonet piece that goes on the FAL battle rifle. Isn't that neat? Got your Venezuela logo. And you guys, this is stamped N-EJ0000. There's 4 zeros, registered patent. And it's got Morse code on that side. This side, the Venezuela logo, your clinometer. Pretty cool. It's hard enough just to get a hold of one of these. I've got 2 of them in my collection. This one and that one. And I did check inside mine. and there's not the original survival capsules not in there. So this is just some of my hollow handles. I've got more that I didn't bring out, but I didn't, because like I said, most of these are on my last year's video, so I just threw some here on the table for you. You guys have seen this one, totally cool. This thing's built like a tank. This is the model 21032. The Explorer Master they copied the Bugmaster 184. These were imported by Gutman for 4 years only. It says Explorer Master 21032, 440 stainless, Japan. And I wrapped this with number 12 bank line. I think I'm gonna have to rewrap it because I didn't get the wraps tight enough. It's looking a little shoddy there, so I'm gonna have to rewrap that nicer, but looks real nice with that black bank line on there. These things are built like a tank. It's got that 440A stainless steel, perfect grind lines. Just seeing video and pictures of this don't do it justice. You got to hold this in your hand to truly appreciate this hollow handle survival knife. Really cool. It's very hard to find one with the original spikes to it, and the sheath is really nice. And this one is a really nice example. So you guys see I've got a couple of Marto Brewer survival knives. Go check out my video. I'll probably have a link below where you guys can go see this. This is the DISIP Comando knife, and I did some research. These were one of the very first Marto Brewer survival knives that went out back in 1983, and from my research they had 300 Commandos in this unit from Venezuela. So I'm speculating they probably had at least 200 or 300 of these Commando bayonets, and I have one of them in my collection. So I'll have that link below so you can check that out. Got a 6.5 inch Commando in the black blade. This one has the mirror blade, and that's a 6.5 inch Commando with the black blade. This is stamped Explorer. They were either stamped Explorer or Explorer. I'm thinking about doing a video coming up and give you what I found is what I think the reason why they're stamped differently. I think you guys will find that interesting. I'm thinking about doing a video on that. I just put a lanyard on there with a skull. This has your survival capsule inside. Perfect, nice shape, 6.5 inch black blade Commando. These are really super cool. My favorite production line. In my opinion, this is the best production hollow handle survival knife ever made. Now, I'm not talking about like Randall or your Chris Reeve, your handmade ones like Jimmy Lyle and all those. I'm talking about a production line. So this was a company out of Marto, Spain, and this was designed by Dr. Charles Brewer Carreras. I've got more videos on my site here where I'm talking and showing that too. Alright guys, so I just want to show you one more here on the table, and then we're going to go ahead and get to the video section of the gentleman from France. Some pictures of some knives that he sent me. We're going to talk about those. This is becoming one of my favorite hollow handle survival knives in my collection. This is a super rare United UC213 survival knife. This is late 70s, early 80s, and I actually think this is a prototype. I've only seen pictures of a picture of one. You can't find hardly any information on this knife. So I'm thinking it's a prototype. It's got that fighter blade profile, and I made a template off of this to make my Model 24 Soldier hollow handle survival knives. Mine will have just a little bit wider blade, but it'll be pretty close to that. Got a couple of those started. Isn't that neat on that guard? It's almost like a little hammer that they made on there. I'm not sure if that's what the intent was, but it's pretty neat. Wrapped it in that number 12 bank line. It's got a heavy duty compass. Compass still works perfect. And this one has a Marto Brewer style survival capsule with all the survival stuff in there ready to go. It's really nice. Got the aggressive, really sharp serrations on top, fighter blade design. I find myself just grabbing this a lot and just checking it out. I love this survival knife. It's really neat. I love stuff that's different. You don't see all the time. I put in this black Derlin sheath with a green OD M9 pouch. It looks really nice. So that's a UC213. Alright guys, let's go ahead and check out the video section coming up, and I've got an unpackaging at the end and then a special little bonus section at the very end. Alright guys, welcome to this section. This is a gentleman from France. He sent me pictures of his hollow handle survival knife collection. His hollow handle survival knife collection, and he also has some other ones that are not hollow handles but are totally cool. I want to share these with you because he took the time to email them to me, and I can tell he's a serious collector. And that's what this day is all about, Hollow Handle Survival Knife Day. And I'm going to go ahead and I want to look at these with you, and I think you guys will find these are totally neat. These are the Aotor brand. From what I know about these are kind of mid-tier hollow handle survival knives. They're very well made, from Spain. They've got really nice inox stainless steel. This one here with the camel sheath is just totally cool. That is really neat. They're all nice. And let's go ahead and look through here. Here we see what comes in a survival capsule on the Marto Brewer hollow handle survival knife bayonet. He's got pictures of this. We'll take a look at it more. Got your waterproof matches, ferris rod there, little ferris rod, fishing line, the fishing hooks, little sinkers, and a scalpel. That's all you really need in a little survival capsule, and you're good to go. It's a really nice hollow handle boot knife. I've seen those are cool. I don't have any of those hollow handle boot knives. I've been wanting to get one. I think this is a little Explorer mini hollow handle survival knife with a yellow handle. That's really cool. Got a Charade Extreme. Here looks like a Explorer. I'm not sure what model that is. It looks to me like an Explorer. Really neat. This one is the Imperial M7S military survival knife. I've got one of those in my collection. Got all the little goodies here. But you notice, what do you notice below this? There's a magazine right here. Look what's on the magazine. The Blackie Collins Combat Master. Only 1,075 of those made. You guys seen? I've got one. This gentleman has one. I would love to find this magazine. I haven't been able to find that magazine. It looks like he has one. That is really cool. So let's go to the next one. Here we have a picture of his Explorer Marto Brewer survival knife bayonet. You see how this little recessed cap comes off, and you got your bayonet lug attachment on the end, pommel end, that comes off, and a little survival capsule. His is stamped Explorer, and you notice his has serrations. Both of mine do not have serrations. This is really neat. I was looking at this. I do not know what this is, but that is totally cool. Perhaps he can leave a comment. I'm sure he'll let us know what that is, but that is wicked, that survival knife right there. This is the Russian Ishmash Special Forces HB1. Highly sought after Special Forces survival knife hollow handle bayonet system made in Russia. I'd love to get one of these in my collection. This is a Western Coleman, highly collectible. This isn't a hollow handle, but these are very collectible. People get these. They're very sought after. It has all your survival goodies in the pouch. Not sure what this one is. This is your Gerber BMF survival knife. They made this in 2 different models, 2 different blade lengths, and there's a huge collector market for this knife as well. I don't have this one in my collection. Don't have the Russian one. I'd love to have that one. And whatever this is, it's totally cool. And that is so cool. I can't wait to find out what that is. Here we have an Almar hollow handle survival knife. Almar is very well known. I know a lot of you guys heard of Almar. I love his Special Forces models. And you can see he has a hollow handle version wrapped in that red bank line. Got a Randall hollow handle. Very expensive. These are expensive, these Randalls. They are not cheap to get. I think there's like a 5-year waiting list. Even if you want to buy one from the Randall company, you pay like $5.75, and you got to wait like, I don't know how many years it is, 5 or 6 years. Here you see his Combat Master. I showed you I have one of those. Only 1,075 of those made. Got a Kershaw hollow handle survival knife, and this is the Wilkinson Sword hollow handle survival knife. Or it may be hollow handle. I'm not sure if that one's hollow handle or not. Another picture of the ones we just looked at. Let's see. Those are all sheath. Look real nice. Man, man, that thing is so cool. That is so cool. And this Ishmael is badass too. I'd love to have that Russian Hollowhound survival knife. Totally neat. These are highly collectible. All of these are. He's got a really nice collection. He's got a manual to the Marto Brewer survival bayonet. This was an entry Marto entered into the XM9 trials. You guys might have remembered back when they were looking for a bayonet, the Army, U.S. Army. Frobus won the contract. Well, Marto, it says here, the Marto Company of Spain submitted the only bayonet designed with knuckle guard to the U.S. Army XM9 trials. Its scabbard also had an unusual belt attaching system, and its cutter plate was made from 3 separate pieces. Marto's entry was designated the number 14. I would love to have one of those. Man, that is cool. Another picture from the manual that he has of the Marto survival bayonet. What I find interesting is his has serrations. Mine doesn't have any serrations on it. That's pretty interesting. These are Smith & Wesson. This one is the Bianchi. I believe these two are the Bianchi Nighthawk. I know this is a Smith & Wesson late 70s Hollowhound survival knife. Same as this one. And I believe this one is Smith & Wesson as well. I think these two are Bianchi Nighthawks. Those are highly sought after, highly collectible. Other side of that Marto Brewer survival knife bayonet. What's the serial number on that? E6950 with a mirror blade. You see he's got 2 of them. One has a survival knife, regular survival knife with a regular pommel cap, and here's the bayonet version. And I'm thinking this one with the bayonet he's got here is a total prototype. Total prototype right there. It looks different than mine. At least the finish on the handle does. Wow, these are in both mint condition. This guy's got a really serious collection here. The Buckmaster 184s, these are awesome as well. Even though I have an Explorer Master 21032 made in Japan, the Buckmasters are still nice. My favorite one is this Fuller design one by Buckmaster with the black oxide blade. Those are totally cool with the Durlin hard plastic sheath. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this section. Let's get on to the next section. Alright, we're to the big reveal. This is what everybody's been waiting for. This is what I've been waiting for. Going to open these up and see what we got. This is a vintage Hollowhound survival knife. So let's, without further ado, let's go ahead and open it. So this thing was going back and forth. That was right okay like that. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Oh, this was, okay, I thought, wow, okay, this was the Marto Brewer. I got a Marto Brewer 5.5. This is a 5.5 inch blade. Okay, this is a knife that I wanted to get this one because this had a little provenance story behind it. This was actually used by a U.S. Air Force fighter pilot as his pilot's knife. And one of the ways that I really know the story is true, if you look at the top of the pommel end, you can tell where this knife has been beating up and down on something. So if this was carried vertically like this, you could tell, you know, if the pilot's, you know, moving around like that, you can see where this thing has been bumped and got a lot of bump marks on it. So that's super cool. Let's take a look at it. Somebody must have got in there and did some kind of modification to lock that blade. I mean, look, you won't believe how, I mean, I've never seen one lock in there like that. That's tight. That's really cool. So that's really neat. Okay, let's go ahead. One of the first things I look for is, wow, it's really nice shape. Of course, it's got a little use to it. It says Explorer. It's got the 5.5 inch blade. And let's take a look at the survival capsule, and I want to check out the rubber O-rings. Okay, the rubber O-rings are getting a little bit wore, not too bad. The compass still works fine. And this one is actually one of the smaller compasses that's mounted in at the bottom of that cap, which is really cool. It's got the white survival tube. And then, yes, the little rubber O-ring in here is in perfect shape. So that's one of the first things I look for. A lot of times these rubber O-rings are wore out. They're either missing or they're damaged. So this one looks fine. Nice. So that's really cool. It's really interesting how I've never seen one lock into that sheath that hard. So I've never taken one apart to modify the spring in there, but I'm assuming the guy that owned this probably was able to tighten that up, because that is really tight, and that's going to hold your blade in there. You don't even almost need a retention. You don't need I mean, look how strong that is a hold. So that's really cool. This is the cardboard box from hell. There we go. Man, this is what you call robust packaging. Bam. Explorer. This is a vintage Explorer. That is really neat. This is almost exactly like that Special Forces, the 21053, except it has a longer blade. This one has almost a 9-inch blade. That's cool. It's just a longer version. Very neat. The hollow handle is actually very well made. It's got some weight to it. So it says Explorer Survivor 2, 440 stainless, Japan. This is the 21052 model. Welcome to the bonus section, guys. You can see I added a really cool OD green tactical survival pouch to this Marto Brewer 5.5-inch blade Comando, and I wrapped the handle with number 12 bank line. Index is really nice now, just feels really good. It looks just killer with that bank line wrapped on there. This is a 5.5-inch Comando Explorer. This one was used by that fighter pilot, which has a really neat provenance story to it. I'm just very happy to have this one in my collection. So in this OD green tactical pouch, I put a ceramic sharpening rod, got another ferrous fire starting system, larger one with a striker, and I put my really cool folding pocket knife in there with the red rubber grips on it. This is a really neat knife that I've had for quite a while. So we're going to just put all that back. It's ready to go. I want to thank you guys for stopping by and being a part of this hollow handle survival knife day video. I appreciate all you guys. Doesn't that look good? And then check this out. I wrapped that one Explorer. This is the Explorer Survivor 2. Wrapped that with that number 12 bank line. Looks really nice. So that's going to conclude this video, and you guys be sure to, like I said, you're welcome to leave links below. Comments appreciated. When you subscribe, it's appreciated. I will catch you guys on the next one.